Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Albion Online with your host, Blackboa here. Today, we are in for a treat. We are going to be doing a live build guide for the occult staff within the Mists of Albion. This will be a solo occult staff build guide. I'm looking forward to kind of showing you guys the playstyle here. Welcome, everyone, and today's build guide is on the occult staff. The fastest among all of the arcanes, the occult staff has some interesting utility, both to chase down your opponents as well as to escape from danger. We'll be going over this build guide and showing you some fights in the Mist of Avalon, and let's jump right into it. So the arcane staff line, specifically the occult staff. The arcane staff line actually got a rework over the last couple years where it started to get some really good solo and group DPS options. Prior to these reworks, I would have never imagined using arcane staff in solo PvP, but after this rework, we now have some really good potential to destroy our enemies with the new skills. So the first new skill that came out of this rework is Chain Missile. This is a very long range single target ability initially that then bounces to other targets after the first hit if there are other targets in the area. So for single target damage, this is an extremely high damaging ability. It'll probably be our primary source of damage, and if you're good at aiming it, it is a skill shot, you would be able to deal some pretty consistent and large damage. The second ability we are using is part of the mobility of every arcane staff. Pretty much the Enigma Blade is a swipe at your target opponents in an AoE fashion, and then if you hit at least one enemy, it enables the use of the second part of the combo, which is to teleport to a targeted location, and this teleport is indeed an iframe. So if you know how to use this properly and you iframe the teleport to avoid some damage coming through or an ability coming through, that would be a very good thing to do. Obviously not easy to do, but it's possible to indeed iframe damage. And last but not least, what makes this extremely unique, wait, this gives 60% move speed, 45% attack speed, and it slows enemies for 30%? This weapon's overpowered! And what makes it the fastest among all of the arcane staffs, the occult staff creates this thing called the time corridor. It's a 25-meter long corridor that you can target in a specific direction. It lasts 8 seconds, and it increases your movement speed by 60% and your attack speed by 45% for all allies in the corridor. That's huge. So while we're on the magic carpet, as I like to call it, we are able to move quicker and auto attack far quicker as well. And if we are chasing somebody down, or if they are chasing us, if they touch this corridor, they will actually get slowed by 30%. So this is going to be a rather large both chasing skill as well as running away from danger skill. And last but not least, this lingering power passive is pretty insane. After we cast any spell, our auto attack speed is increased by 120% and our range is increased by 33% for the next 3 normal attacks within 3 seconds. And you'd be surprised, this is so fast you could easily get this off and then recast your Q and keep getting it off. So the auto attack damage on this is not to be understated. It's got range, it's got attack speed, it could be really, really nice. So the occult staff, the most mobile and the most unique because of this time corridor / magic carpet ride ability, and we will be going over the next pieces over here to show you the armor shortly. So for the rest of the build, you are going to see some very typical items that I like using for builds that have a KITE playstyle. As you recall, a KITE playstyle is a playstyle where you attack from range and you try to deal damage before they can get to you and deal damage to you. You keep moving back, trying to kite them out, and the damage you can just pile in for free. So to make this set work fine, we are using our customary assassin with higher cooldowns so we get our abilities quicker. We are using a leather boot known as the Stalker Shoes for additional move speed and cooldown reduction to get our skills back. Again, the same cooldown passive. And last but not least, to build additional distance, we are using our customary force field ability with our mana energy cost reduction passive. Now normally I would consider using a Thetford cape here, especially since this particular passive does do really long range auto attacks and it can actually get a kill through. But today we're going to start with the undead. The cape slot in general is a slot that you can experiment with, but we're going to try to be a little bit more elusive to start with this undead cape. We'll have double invis and we'll see if we can either get away or secure kills by doing that. Typical of most of our builds, we also are using the energy cost reduction Dust Hole Crab Omelet. I believe this build will have energy issues without it, it, even with the energy passive, to reduce our efficiency by 6% spell cost. Because we're using such high cooldowns, our skills are going to be used a lot. So having this crab omelet ensures that our mana is not gone by the time we need it. Last but not least, to have a little bit of sustain, we are using our customary healing potions so that we can get back into the fight and fight our enemies with more health. Before we go into the miss, I just want to say one last thing about the playstyle of the Occult Staff and this particular skill, the Time Corridor. This is critical for survival. So in my opinion, you should be mainly using this defensively to kite back and try not to use it too much offensively unless you know for a fact that you will be able to kill your target. The reason why is many times people push this Time Corridor a little bit too early and they try to catch up to their target and they use it aggressively only for the target to be able to turn around and destroy them. So try your best not to use this offensively in terms of positioning it towards your target if you're trying to chase them, unless they're very low on health. If you keep it as your defensive and kite with it, you will be very hard to kill, very hard to catch, and that's the beauty of this weapon. It is the most mobile arcane staff you can use, and it begins to rival the speed of many of the other meta builds. As always, whether you want to do it once you get into the mist or right beforehand, make sure you eat your food. It'll save your life. A lot of people forget to use their food and they end up dying as a result, so please, by all means, either eat beforehand or eat it right when you get in. I'd like to make a distinction about the Occult Staff as it relates to PvE. Most arcane staffs do not have this mobility on their E. It's only this staff, obviously. However, they do have mobility on their W. For PvE purposes, every other staff should probably hold on to this ability as a defensive for whatever they're trying to do, because that's the only bit of mobility they have. The reason why the Occult Staff can use this for PvE and why I believe the Occult Staff is the best PvE weapon is because they do have indeed another piece of mobility. So you can feel free to just quickly kill mobs with these two abilities and then use your Time Corridor to escape if you're in trouble. For the most part, it's not a bad weapon for PvE, especially when you use your W, and you could easily just attack from afar. Try not to take too many ads at one time. I know that there is a bouncing effect on the Q, but over time that has been nerfed to deal very little damage, so you're not going to be able to clear large groups of mobs easily, but it is probably the better staff for PvE simply because you can use your W rather than hold it as a defensive. So the Occult Staff, what is it good at? Who can it fight and who can it beat? Honestly, the fact that it has a long range Q gives it some heavy options in terms of being able to kill both melee and ranged combatants. It is a little bit hard to land the Q, so ping is a little bit of an issue. If you have very high ping, you might have trouble using this weapon, but also all arcane staffs, anything with a skill shot, you may have trouble with if you have high ping. But just to talk generally about the matchups here, I think against most melee, we actually have a really good opportunity to beat them. We have kiting potential in our mobility with our W and our E. We also can vanish and reposition for additional kiting opportunities. And we also have a knockback that allows us to knock any melee away from us, hopefully allowing us to get out of the range of their abilities. So melee is generally a pretty good matchup for us. We'll still have trouble against your typical high mobile builds. I think we'll have trouble against Death Givers. Double Blades we might have trouble against if they're higher IP than us. Great Hammers we may have trouble against if they're higher IP than us. But for the most part, I think most matchups should be okay. The Battle Axe I think we'd be very good against. And so on the melee side, we could feel pretty confident in fighting most builds. On the range side, we need to see if they outrange us or if we outrange them. We will likely be outranging them in most scenarios. So most curse staffs, for instance, are not using their curse sickle. So they're using the Q1 to stack the dots. So cursed, we do pretty well against curse staffs because we can just outrange them. If they get close, we can swipe them and then move back to get out of their range. So those would be good fights. Fire staffs that are not using the third Q, fire staffs would probably be pretty decent for us to fight as well. We got to be careful for the one-hand fire because of its range on the E, but fire staffs in general, if they're not using the third Q, then that's a pretty good matchup for us. Frost staffs could be an okay opportunity. The thing is, they move around so much that it would probably be hard to land a lot of our skills, which would be pretty detrimental, obviously. So against a frost staff, we have the opportunity. They tend to move around a lot, and so it might be harder to hit them, but we still should be okay against a frost. If they're using their first Q, it would be a harder matchup, however. They're their third Q does not have the range of the first Q. So if we see a Frost Staff that's not using Q1, that's probably a better opportunity than one that is using Q1. And as far as the bows and the crossbow line, crossbow is probably a pretty bad matchup for us, even though we could potentially outrange its Q. Its damage is so big that if they just continue to hit us, even if we want to try to get close, it just feels like their mobility and damage might be a little bit too much for us. So crossbows will be wary. We will absolutely still fight them, but we will be wary of them. War bows and Badan bows, very wary of them too. The fact that they have the DOT damage and the poison Q is my biggest worry about the war bows. We could probably keep up with them mobility wise, but their stacking of the Q damage is pretty significant, so bows might be a little bit difficult. There's many other builds that we'll be able to fight as well, but those are some of the big ones I'm seeing in the mists, and hence I hope that little overview of how the occult staff can perform helps you understand what matchups you might want to take. For purposes of this build guide, I plan to be a little bit more aggressive just to show some additional fighting. However, let me just tell you the thought process of what I would do if I wanted to play cautious when I get to an outpost. If I'm at an outpost, I'm always keeping my mount next to me. You may have heard this before, but it cannot be understated. If you're trying to avoid PvP, the moment you see another name tag on your screen, an off-screen name tag, you must mount up. You're trying to avoid any kind of confrontation. Don't even bother inspecting, because you might misclick, and by the time you click on it, he's too close for you to escape. Just trust me and mount up the moment you see a nameplate if you're in an outpost and you're trying to farm. This is the safest way to do it. If you're even more worried about safety, an even safer way to do outposts would be to wait until the last 5 minutes when the mist is closing, and then you have a higher likelihood that people would have left the mist already, hence making there less competition for you for each outpost. So choose either, to be extremely safe with your horse out, ready to mount up at a moment's notice, and if you're really worried, wait until the last 5 minutes to start clearing, and you'll be able to easily get your might and Breslan standing. Okay, we hit him pretty hard there. He ran, but I can't really do much about it. Actually, no, I can, actually. Ow! Alright, we need to back away. This is a one-hand fire staff we're facing, and their E is pretty scary. But you could see... Okay, so he stepped on my thing there. You could see that we're going to reset this fight really quick, and I hope that start regenerating some health. Alright, so he's going to do his E right off the rip, I think. Okay, he hit us kind of quickly with that. Little fucker, dude. This guy's gonna be a little bit tough, honestly. And he's also trying to kite me too, so yeah, if he's gonna play that game, we're not gonna play that game. See what I mean? He outranges me, so. In this scenario, I don't see a victory here unless he messes up. So in general, I would recommend one-hand fire staffs. Do not try to mess with them if they're playing the way that this guy is. If they're being overly aggressive, you could punish. But every time I try to go in to punish, he moves back, which means he's trying to kite just as much as I am, and it's not worth taking the fight. But if anything, this has proven that we can easily get away from someone like that with our magic carpet, as well as the W teleport mobility. Very rarely do I listen to keybind stuff, so the fact that I listened was a miracle on 34th Street. They want to fight there, bro. I mean, if he wants to fight, I'm down. Ow. He ran like the wind. Jesus fuck. Oh, dang it. Fuck me. It's not good for me. I can't hit him for fuck's sake. He has his Q back. I don't want to use it right now. Ah! Oh, he's done. He's done. Ah! You might be done there, bro. I think he got knocked. Did he? He's got 1 HP, literally. Guy literally has 1 HP. Now he's fucking healing. Nope. I can't. Ah! Fuck you! Oh, I got him! Oh, wow, okay. Woo! Nice fight, dude. That was annoying, but very nice fight. Alright, so let's talk about that really quick. So, a little bit chaotic. We had the battle axe also come into fight. It was a little chaotic there. Then we kind of got to a 1v1 situation. We were somewhat able to keep up with this Frost Staff. Could he have mounted up at some point? Absolutely, but he was also trying to fight to the death. But that was a good back and forth. Where we needed to be better, because we got caught by the Chill Howl's E way too many times. We needed to be better with our W. Because if we swipe, hit something, even if it's a mob, and then port away, we can easily avoid getting frozen, which is what we did on the final one there. If you noticed, or the one before the final where he died, we ended up using our teleport, our second tap of the W, to get out of his Chill Howl E. We were missing a lot of our Qs, and you could see how detrimental that was. If we just hit more of them, he should have been dead much sooner than where he did die. So again, landing your Qs is critical. There is a very big skill shot component to this build with the Q specifically. So if you can land those, you're going to be very, very happy with the results. At the end, we did win, but it was a little bit too close for comfort. Frost is tricky because of the mobility, but we were definitely able to stand toe-to-toe. What the frick? I like it. I like the ingenuity. Nice build. Bro, this guy deals like 0 damage. So let's see if we can take this nerd bird out. Ow! Oh, no way that hit me. That's annoying, this fucking one-hand staff, bro. Seriously. This guy doesn't even care about me. Yeah, see, one-hand fire is a problem. You guys can see it, right? This is the second time where that E just like deals more damage than what we could deal to him while kiting. And so one-hand fire, generally speaking, is not a good matchup for us. I'm sure wildfire would be easy. I'm sure, you know, a few other things would be easier. Great fire would probably be a difficult one, but like wildfire should be no problem. So yeah, I would say occult staff versus fire staff, not ideal. Oh, what's this? Come on, bro. Oh shit. Okay. This guy's at least a baller. Oh, this is where it becomes really nice, right? That interaction right there was quite enjoyable. Should have swiped sooner though, because he might get away. Nope. Sorry, bro. Nice try. So yeah, melee is a tough matchup. I mean, melee is an easy matchup for us, for the most part. Again, if we hit our Qs, we're able to negate a lot of what they try to do, especially Battle Axe. I like fighting Battle Axes. An example of a melee not having a good time against an occult staff. Let's get out of here because our overcharge is about to break. Now, I know a lot of these competitors are not higher IP, right? But we're just trying to show you the playstyle. You could see the playstyle play out even when you're fighting lower IP people. I'm not trying to say like this is a great kill or not, right? It's not really that great. Oh, actually, wait. Oh no, that was a different kill. Am I looking at deaths? Okay, I'm looking at deaths. My bad. So yeah, we had about 200 more. Here we had about 200 more as well. So we are definitely overpowering these guys, but the playstyle remains the same. You can see the playstyle. So for purposes of this build guide, we're fighting everybody. I understand that not all fights are going to be fair. In fact, the first 2 kills we got with the occult staff here were unfair in our advantage. We had about 200 item power over the battle axe. We also had about 200 item power over the cross staff. Although that wasn't a fair fight, however, the purpose of showing you these fights is to give you the basic playstyle and to talk about matchups. I understand that they're not necessarily the most fair or equal fights there are, but they still get the point across of how to play the occult staff and the arcane staff in general. Please dismount on top of me. Please. Hey, that was rude. Oops, I'm an idiot. Little shitbird. Let me out of here, bro. Alright. Oh, shitter. This fucking fire stuff needs to be taken care of. Alright, hold on. Let's play around here. This is a chaotic scenario, but we kind of thrive as an occult staff here. Oh, who? Okay, this guy has it. Oh yeah, we need to stop this guy from at least depositing this for free. These guys are teaming. A pretty good escape, right? If anything, we show that like we can get away pretty damn well. Oh, what the fuck? Little shit. Alright, now we have to be careful here because I can't do anything. This is rough. That was rough. We had to get out. Everyone seemed to be against me there. I don't know why, but that was a tag team event. So we still get out, which is nice. So that whole sequence, no kills or anything, but at least we displayed the mobility of the occult staff and how we can kind of move in and out of fights fairly safely. There was a little bit too many things going on there, so... that guy's a mace trying to attack me. Okay, he got 0 value out of that. Alright, fuck that, I'm out. I can't hit him. This fucking guy. Jake cannot hit him. Nope. Now you're in trouble, homie. Now you are in trouble, homie. Oh, why didn't I fucking port? Oh, stupid. Yeah, no, dude. Sorry. That ain't happening. Nice. Alright, so against maces, this is actually quite good. Or it could be good. Let's go over that fight really quick. So, number one, that guy definitely misused his Stalker jacket. So, we can't give him points for using his rotation well. We were able to negate his Stalker pretty much at every turn, whether it was going invis or knocking it back twice. But at the end of the day, now you see why these are so important, right? Against someone like that, being able to go invis and then being able to knock back is huge. I was surprised with the mobility because I know that the mace line is very, very mobile, but we actually had more mobility than he did. So technically the occult staff looks like it's more mobile than a one-hand mace. This goes to show you melee in general is fairly good for us to fight. Probably better than us fighting range. Fighting melee is better, but range we still do pretty well as well. Oh, what the hell is happening here? Oh my god, there's savagery everywhere. Alright, y'all, moving here. Alright, here's a rat situation most likely. Starting to realize you're the air in your waist, huh? Alright, I'm backing out here. I need to overcommit. So yeah, if these guys are not careful, the single target damage gets a little bit crazy with the arcane, which is kind of cool. Alright, this is good actually. No! Fuck! Am I dead? Ah, fuck! He got me. That sucked. That was a very good proc of his Everlasting Spirit. Alright, that whole sequence was pretty chaotic. I got too close to the Curse Staff at the end. That's why we lost. I thought I was going to be able to finish him off really quick. If he didn't cast that Everlasting Spirit, he was dead. But unfortunately, he did cast it, and hence, that's why we lost. But really, we lost because we were too close. There was no need for that. He just used his Wanderlust. He wouldn't have been able to catch up to me if I just kept distance. So I'm going to include that death because it's a very good learning opportunity that you lose to a Curse Staff if you stay in range. That's pretty much what happens, no matter what. As a general rule, if you're in range of their dots and their E, you're dead. And I broke that rule thinking that I could kill him with the sliver of health he had, but I could not, unfortunately. So, never stay in range of a Curse Staff. If you don't have range, probably not a good idea to fight a Curse Staff, unless you got a Purge. And yeah, that's all she wrote on that one. Bring me Cocoa Puff, listen to me now. Oh no, sir. Oh, what? Bro! What the fuck was that? He position swapped me? What a little shit! Slow down. Pull over. Woo! Yo, I've never seen that before. Position swap. Position swap Brimstone. Maybe that's the next build guide, bro. What the fuck? That is amazing. Okay, cool. I'm so glad that that happened here. That is honestly one of the most brilliant ideas I've ever heard. You know, it's pretty damn brilliant. I mean, you have no mobility afterwards, but I like the thought process. That was really good. Coming for you, Jimmy! No, Jimmy! Oh, he's an idiot. He could have mounted. He could have mounted there, Johnson. Now you got to fight back. Not so fast. So that was actually kind of an interesting example of the use of the rug there. I'm going to explain it in a second. So that guy at the end could have definitely mounted up and probably gotten away. Not only do we have the passive that increases our attack speed and our attack range every time we cast a spell, but if we're on top of this time corridor while we're auto attacking, our auto attacks are increased by another 45%. So that was kind of a nice example of big time auto attack damage spread out over a pretty nice like little line. We were able to kind of continue to kite, use the time corridor attack speed buff for as long as we could without losing our target. So you can consider consider using that as well. Always remember that if you are close to the person, you may want to get some value out of the 45% attack speed as well. Alright, Warbow. Sir, we have a problem, don't we? Don't we, sir? Sir! Sir! Oh, man! Flat T4. You almost got me in flat T4, though. Isn't that funny? That's why Warbows are scary, because shit like that goes down. Oh, shit. Who the hell is this? Freaking Bermuda Triangle over here. Should I show you what not to do and fight this guy? You know what? Fuck it. It's okay if I lose this set. We just got a 100 mil donation, bro. Let's just go. Oh, he missed. Actually missed. Oh, this is looking good. This is looking very good. Shit. If he mounts up here, I'm gonna be so sad. Ah, you little shitter! God dang, so close. I had to betray. That was close, man. That would have been nice to end the build guy on an 8.3 kill. But unfortunately, me and the rat there did not succeed. Close, though. Very, very close. So as you saw there, we almost had a wonderful ending to this video. The 8.3 nearly got killed. He got away. But I think after seeing everything that you've seen today, you could see the potential in the Occult Staff. It is by far the most mobile arcane staff there is, and it has a lot of strengths. It has a few weaknesses because this only provides really mobility, right? You will get auto attack speed. You got some slow, but there is no damage here. So it does lack a little bit of damage compared to some of the other arcane staffs, but for the most part, this is your best bet in the miss if you want to have a mobile playstyle. Thank you so much for watching, and we will be back next time with more build guides. Stay tuned, and thank you very much. Hi guys, Blackboa here. Thanks so much for watching my latest video. If you like what you saw, please hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. I truly appreciate it. Thanks bros, and I'll see you next time.